We all marry the wrong person. I did too. I was married for 62 years, and for 62 years I didn't know it. My name is Lillian Carter. I'm 103 years old. I got married in 1943. It was wartime. I was 20 years old, and that man had the kind of laugh that could fill a whole room. I married that laugh. I married that warmth. I married the man who'd turn on the radio in the kitchen, pull me close, and dance with me like nobody was watching. But about 10 years in, that man disappeared. The laughing stopped. The talking got quiet. The dancing was gone. I got angry. I kept thinking to myself, give me back my husband. So I spent 62 years trying to bring that man back. That was my whole marriage. It wasn't until he was gone that I finally understood. He never disappeared. He was there the whole time. I just wasn't willing to see him. I was too busy looking for the version of him I wanted to see, so I never once looked at the real man sitting right next to me. Don't do what I did. Don't waste 62 years before you figure it out. This story will save you that time, so stay with me till the end. His name was Harold. I met him when I was 19, outside a church on a Sunday morning. I was walking with my mother, holding her hand. He was standing on the steps, talking to someone, and then he laughed. A big laugh, the kind that carried across the whole churchyard. I turned my head when I heard it. That was when I first noticed him. We got married the next year. Harold worked at the auto plant. Big hands, broad back, the kind of man who did things before he said things. But with me, he was different. With me, he talked. He joked around. Every evening, when he got home from work, he'd hold me at the front door before he did anything else. Every single day. On Saturday nights, he'd turn on the radio in the kitchen. He'd take my hand, and we'd dance right there in the middle of that tiny kitchen. There was barely room for the two of us to turn around, but we did it every week. I remember thinking, this man is enough for a lifetime. This laugh, this warmth, this dance. I believed it would never end. But looking back now, I know the truth. I didn't love the man. I loved one moment of him. Harold at 25, dancing in that kitchen on a Saturday night. I married that scene, not the person, the scene. Harold came back from the war and went straight to the plant. 12-hour shifts every single day. We had 3 kids by then, more mouths to feed, and his body was getting heavier. He never told me what he saw over there, but his shoulders changed. The laughing got quieter. The talking stopped. Saturday nights, the radio stayed off, and I kept thinking to myself, this isn't who he used to be. Back then, I thought Harold had changed. But looking back now, he didn't change. Life just got heavier. He came back from the war, worked 12-hour shifts at the plant every day, and we had 3 kids to feed. His body was wearing down. The worries kept piling up, and there just wasn't any room left to laugh. That's all it was. But even through all of that, Harold was right there. When I got sick, he didn't say a word. He just got me in the car and drove me to the hospital. When money was short, he picked up extra shifts and came home before dawn. When one of the kids had a fever, he stayed up all night taking care of them. He never announced it. He just did it. It wasn't that he stopped talking. He just showed it different. But I couldn't see that. I was still looking for the man from those Saturday nights. The Harold who turned on the radio and held me and danced in that kitchen. That's the only version of him I was looking for. And the thing I said to him more than anything was this: you're not who you used to be. I must have said it dozens of times, maybe hundreds. Harold never said a word back, not once. He just sat there quietly. I thought that silence meant he didn't care, that he'd stopped paying attention to me. But that wasn't it. I didn't understand that until much later. We lived in the same house, but we were in 2 different places. I was living in the past. Harold was living in the now. I was the only one who didn't know that. There was a woman at my church I'd known for years. Her name was Dorothy. She was 2 years older than me, and her husband worked at the same plant as Harold. Dorothy's husband was the same way. When he was young, he was loud and fun, the kind of man who lit up a room. But as he got older, he got quiet, just like Harold. One day I asked Dorothy if it bothered her that her husband wasn't the same as he used to be. Dorothy just looked at me for a minute. Then she said this. She said her husband didn't change. She said when he was young, all that laughing and talking, that was his way of loving her. But now he shows it different. He doesn't say much anymore, but he's there when she's hurting. He holds things together when times get hard, and he still pulls the blanket over her when he comes in late at night. She said the way it looks changed, but the man didn't. I didn't understand that. To me, love was the laughing, love was the dancing, love was the joking around. If all that was gone, how could it still be love? That's what I thought. So every evening I sat across from Harold looking for something that wasn't there anymore. The laugh that had already passed, the jokes that had already faded, the Saturday night dancing that was already over. I didn't notice the blanket Harold quietly brought me. I didn't feel his hand pulling my covers up before dawn. Harold was loving me every single day. He was just saying it in a different language. But I only understood the first language. I never heard the second one. Dorothy was the kind of woman who heard that second language. It took me 40 years to understand what she meant. Harold passed away in the early 2000s. We'd been married for 62 years. After the funeral, I came home and sat down in the kitchen, in the chair across from where Harold used to sit every day. For the first time, there was nobody to argue with. For the first time, there was nobody to fix. That quiet just sat on me. Days went by, then weeks, and something strange started happening. In a house without Harold, I started seeing Harold everywhere. Harold at 25 used to hold me in the kitchen and dance. That was love at that age. Harold at 35 had 3 kids and worked 12-hour shifts at the plant. He'd come home late, but he still opened each of the kids' doors one by one and pulled the covers over them. That was love at that age. Harold at 50 sat beside me the day my mother died. He didn't say a single word the whole day. He was just there. That was love at that age. Harold at 65 waited for me at the bottom of the stairs every morning when my knee went bad. He held my arm. He never missed a day. That was love at that age. It was the same man from beginning to end. The love didn't disappear. It just showed up different. But I only believed in the 25-year-old version. I didn't see any of the rest. And then I realized something else. I changed too. Where did that 20-year-old girl go? The one who used to laugh and dance. I got short-tempered. I nagged more. I was angry all the time. In Harold's eyes, I must have been a completely different person too. But Harold never once said to me, "You're not who you used to be." Not one time. Harold was accepting me as I was the whole time. I was the only one who couldn't. After Harold was gone, I was going through his things and I found a small box. It was tucked deep inside his closet. I opened it and there were a few photographs and a piece of paper. The photographs were from our wedding day. I thought I'd lost those pictures a long time ago. Harold had them the whole time. The paper had Harold's handwriting on it. Harold was never good with words on paper. The letters were big and crooked. This is what it said. "Lillian says I'm different now. I'm the same. I just can't do it the way I used to." When I read that, I sank down to the kitchen floor. Something came out of me. I don't know if it was crying or screaming. For 62 years, the man was right there, and I never really saw him. I was looking for the Harold in my head. I never looked at the real one. He was there from the very beginning to the very end. I was the only one looking somewhere else. The last time Harold was in the hospital, he looked at me. There was no blame in his eyes, no anger. He was just looking at me quietly. Now when I think about it, I know what those eyes were saying. I was always right here. That's what hurts the most. I spent 62 years trying to change that man. 62 years and it never worked. But changing my own heart would have been so much easier than that. Reading that one piece of paper would have been enough. But I didn't do the easy thing. Not for 62 years. And now it's too late. Because Harold's gone. We all marry the wrong person. It took me 62 years to understand why. It's not because we picked the wrong one. It's because we never see them for who they really are. We fall in love with who they are when we first meet them, and we believe that version is going to last forever. But nobody stays the same. Life doesn't let you. At 25, you love one way. At 50, you love a different way. At 65, it changes again. The love doesn't go away. It just puts on different clothes. But we only remember the first outfit, and when that comes off, we think the love is gone too, even though the same person is still standing right there. Marriage isn't choosing someone once. It's looking at the person next to you every time life shifts, every time things get hard, every time you both become someone a little different, and seeing them again, really seeing them. You can spend a lifetime trying to change someone. It won't work. But changing your own heart is so much easier than that. I spent 62 years doing it the hard way. Think about who's sitting next to you right now. Your husband, your wife, the person you've been doing life with. You probably feel like they're not the same anymore. Why don't they laugh like they used to? Why don't they talk? Why don't they do things the way they did before? I felt that too. For 62 years, but just stop for a second and look again, not for the version you want to see. Look at the person actually sitting right there, the one who makes your coffee every morning, the one who leaves the porch light on and waits for you without saying a word, the one who's still there even when they've got nothing to say. That's their love. It just sounds different now. After 103 years, there's one thing I know for sure. You don't find happiness by meeting the perfect person. You find it when you finally see the person next to you, not the perfect version, just them, exactly as they are. That moment doesn't come to you. You make it. Stop trying to fix them. Stop trying to bring back who they were. Stop looking for the person in your head. See the one who's here. You can spend your whole life trying to change someone. It won't work. But changing your own heart is so much easier than that. And that's what love really is. It's not changing the other person. It's changing the way you see them. That's everything I learned about love in 103 years. Don't wait until the chair across from you is empty. Before it is, look up. Look at the person sitting right there. My name is Lillian Carter. I'm 103. It took me 62 years to figure this out. I don't want that for you. I've lived through a lot and I've got more stories that'll save you the trouble. Hit subscribe. I'll save you the time.